What's up, everybody, and welcome back to TGK TV. It's your boy, TGK, and today I'm going to talk about the Dallas Mavericks free agency aftermath and basically talk about day one transactions and what we've done so far in day two. So let's get it started. And before we get started, if you're a Mavs fan for life like I am, or any Dallas sports team fan in general like myself, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. I'll be here all year long. All right, guys, so as soon as free agency started, it was pretty much clear to me that the Mavericks just don't talk to big name free agents. It's hard to even get them to sit down and have a conversation with them. The Mavericks just cannot lure the big fish to Dallas, Texas. It's a problem. We have such a huge market here. We have the ability to basically put these players on the map with the city that we have. We're a top 10 market. I mean, and I don't understand why Dallas has such a stigma that these big name, big fish players can't come to the city and play for Dallas and the Mavericks. So it's glaringly obvious that we cannot lure anybody. However, regardless of the pain of not being able to do anything in free agency and feel like the Mavericks ain't doing a damn thing as far as making any moves, you have to kind of come to your senses and be like, you know what? We do have two big fishes right now. One of them being a unicorn, another one being a wonder boy. We got Luka and KP, right? We got both of them. Luka Doncic and Kristaps Porzingis. Don't get me wrong. So we got them. And, you know, might be greedy of us. We want a third star. Who doesn't want a third star? But we already got two of them. So at this point, it's like, as much as that available salary cap has you wanting more and wanting a big fish, it would have been great. But, you know, realistically, we've been left behind so many times and quote unquote burned by so many players. It's just at this point, like, why even bother? Let's just build the way we've been building, and hopefully we continue in the right trajectory, the right direction. So here was my first thought. Yes, we're not signing any players day one. Nothing's going on with the Dallas Mavericks. We're just chilling, watching everybody go here and there and there and there. And I was like, I read a report that the Mavericks were going to have a conversation with Patrick Beverley. You know me. To me, Patrick Beverley was the guy to go get. At this point, Bojan had signed a deal with the Utah Jazz for $18 million a year. Just a tad more than what I would have given him. If you saw my first video, I was talking about he should get 14. They gave him 18. Hey, sometimes you got to overpay for a player. And to me, I was fine with that. You know, like, all right, cool. We'll miss out on that much. I mean, he's 30 years old, kind of a 3-and-D guy, but definitely a 3 guy. And it's too much of a risk for 18 million when we could kind of surround this team with better shooters that are out there. And I'm gonna get to that. Let me get back to Beverley. I felt like Patrick Beverley should have been priority. I felt like he should have been handled with priority as well. And the fact that the 76ers and Miami Heat trade affected the ability for us to even have a conversation with Patrick Beverley, from what I've read and from the reports that I've seen, it pissed me off. It legit disgruntled me in a way. I'm like, so because we're over here fumbling this freaking trade where we accepted one with Goran Dragic, and then we recant that, and then we're about to accept the one with Kelly Olynyk and Derrick Jones Jr., and we're over here fumbling this deal for hours, and we miss out on an opportunity to talk to Patrick Beverley, and he goes and signs with the Clippers for 3 years for $40 million, right at the freaking amount, 13.5. Remember I said he should get 13? We could have done that deal. And the fact that we were so inept with this stupid idea of trading to the Miami Heat to help them get Jimmy Butler, it pissed me off. And maybe the Mavericks weren't high on Beverley like I was. I know people had issues with his potential injury history. To me, I didn't give a damn about that. I just wanted the tenacity that Patrick Beverley brought, but we missed out on that. And that was the beginning of the spiral downward trend for day one. I stayed up all the way till 1 a.m. just constantly checking my Twitter, constantly checking Instagram, constantly checking every single source of information to be like, what are the Mavericks doing? And for a second, we thought we had Goran Dragic, and we didn't. What a night. So besides day one being just an absolute nightmare, we move into day two. And day two seemed a little bit better, right? I mean, day one, we signed Kristaps, we gave Dwight Powell an extension. Cool. Day two was way more interesting in comparison to day one, because you just saw everybody go and we didn't have a chance at anybody. We definitely didn't have a chance at the main guy that I wanted to get. So day two comes, and here we got signing Kleber to a 4-year deal, basically $8.5 million per year. And remember, I said Kleber should get at least 8 per year, and he got that. And I'm so happy that he got that contract. I think it's a beautiful contract. 4 years, 8.5 per year. You're not going to beat that with the level of effort that Kleber gives you. He's going to develop over these next 2 years, and by the time this next contract's up, he's going to be due for a really nice payday, and at least we'll have him for 4 years. Now, the first step where the Mavericks made a great decision, although looking at it from a totality or holistic perspective, right? We missed out on Patrick Beverley. As pissed off as I was, I mean, for $13.5 million, he was perfect for that price, and we didn't get him. The Mavericks missed out on Patrick Beverley, but we were able to sign Seth Curry. So we saved $5 million in a way from not signing Beverley to signing Seth Curry. Seth Curry is a really great three-point shooter. He's going to definitely help out Luka Doncic as far as opening the floor. It is a great pickup, and especially for $8 million a year, you cannot beat that. It is a wonderful deal. I think it is perfect for the caliber of player Seth Curry is, and at that deal, you cannot beat that. You can't. It's a great deal. So great pickup. I didn't put too much thought into Seth Curry. I didn't think Seth Curry was going to be an option because I was thinking of Patrick Beverley, but to get him, Seth Curry, he's been here once, to get him basically in the situation we're in where it looked like we weren't getting a damn thing, I'll take it however it comes. So I'm happy Seth Curry is once again a Dallas Maverick. So now on to the next big fish that is out there. And I'm being funny when I say the next big fish, because it's really not a big fish, but there is a really good name that we could think about potentially getting. And that is the Toronto Raptors guard, Danny Green. Yes, Danny Green of all people, the Spurs former guard that used to kill us all the time. A champion, definitely can't take that away from him. We could potentially get Danny Green. Danny Green's friend on a podcast, I forgot his name, he had talked about, the case for the Mavericks and Danny Green, that, Danny Green wants to have a defensive identity, wants to be a part of the plan. He has good rapport with Luka Doncic. So things are good there, but apparently he's waiting out what Kawhi Leonard's going to do if he's going to stay in Toronto and go to LA. Pretty sure he's going to end up going to the Lakers. It's going to be a crazy announcement when that happens. But if that does happen, for the most part, we could expect to get Danny Green. And now, if you tell me we got Danny Green, Seth Curry, Timothy Hardaway, we got 3 players that can really shoot the ball. And that is a good problem to have. You cannot have a problem with having so many shooters. You can just spread the floor, and it's all about lineups and putting them in the correct position to be able to flourish in the system. And with Luka Doncic and Porzingis in the pick and roll 2-man game, it is just going to be a miraculous thing to watch. The amount of threes coming from any part of the court, you're not going to be able to beat that in a way. I mean, you could beat it, but for what we have and what we're able to get with the limited supply of actual big fishes out there, even though there was a quantity of them, we just weren't able to get one. But to surround this team with those players that can shoot, it's going to be a big deal when it comes to this upcoming season. So if we get Danny Green, that is an icing on the cake for what we were able to potentially even get. We had also signed JJ Barea back, just like I assumed. I don't know the contract and how much they're going to give him. I heard minimum veteran, so that might be a thing, or they might give him more depending on how much salary cap is left. So a lot of these things are lining up just like I predicted in the first video. However, I predicted we would have Beverley and Bojan, and we didn't get either. So now we're just kind of having to figure it out with what we can get. So if we end up getting Seth Curry and Danny Green, so be it. And we give it another shot in the next offseason Courtney Lee's deal comes up. All right, guys, so in ending of this video, yes, this free agency was another letdown, a big, huge bummer as far as being able to land something bigger than Seth Curry. Seth Curry's a good player. It's just we, or myself, I expected bigger as far as his free agency. It's a wide open West, or was a wide open West, and now it looks like we're gonna have to really rely on our two stars. And that's the silver lining of all of this. Even though it was a tough free agency and it doesn't look like we were able to get much, we did get something. However, what we still have is two superstars. We have Luka Doncic and Kristaps Porzingis. And the fact that these two guys, it just seems like in the media that these two guys are not enough to make it to the playoffs. These two guys are gonna make offense so easy for the remainder of the team. I don't understand how much these two guys are gonna open up everything. When they run a pick and roll, it's gonna be a mismatch heaven for offenses. And it's gonna be a mismatch nightmare for defenses. I'm telling you, regardless of how bad this free agency had went, at least we were able to keep the players that we know complement Luka very well. And at least we were able to add a Seth Curry and potentially a Danny Green. And if we do add Danny Green, this team will be a really solid team and definitely a playoff team. I see them at least 6-7 seed. And you never know, we might match up with the Golden State Warriors in the first round because now they got D'Angelo Russell and they'll still be able to be a solid team. Now I'm going to jump way ahead. However, the silver lining in all this, although it was a tough free agency, really tough, we didn't get much. The silver lining is we got Luka and KP, and as they develop and as their chemistry becomes one with the rest of the teammates, there's gonna be some beautiful basketball being played, and they're probably gonna have a chip on their shoulder knowing that they're these Europeans, they're the leader of this team, this organization, and they're gonna have this chip on their shoulder and this pride to go out there and prove to the NBA that Europeans can win. Dirk did it, and I know these two guys can. Anyway, guys, let me hear your comments. I want to hear you signed off in the comments. What you think? How did your daily process or minute-by-minute process go during free agency when we weren't getting anybody? And then we thought for a second we were going to get Draymond Green because D'Angelo Russell got traded. And then we thought we were going to get these players because of this. And say Kawhi Leonard stays in Toronto. Then it's going to be a race between us, the Clippers, and the Lakers as far as the leftover scraps. So I just rather Kawhi go to the Lakers. Let's make it an entire show, a freak show over there, and we could get Danny Green to come here. And then Marcus Morris is still out there. We could go get him. He'd be a solid backup, you know? And I wouldn't even think about Boogie Cousins, to stay away from Boogie. But man, what a free agency. And we also lost out on Nikola Mirotic because he went overseas. It was just crazy, just a crazy free agency. Anyway, let me hear your thoughts, man. I'll be responding to everybody in the comment section. Hope you enjoy this video, and I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one. I'm out.